For the youngest kids, birthdays are more than milestones, they're everything. One nonprofit is making sure every child has a cake, candles, and a reason to celebrate.
Tonight, First Alert 6's Aaron Hartley shows us how you can help make that happen during these Do Good days.
For some kids, a birthday comes and goes. No cake, no candles. Meegan Vellek is determined to change that.
And working with children in foster care and just other nonprofit organizations, it just kind of became aware that that's a day that everybody should be celebrated.
In 2024, she launched Project Surprise Party, delivering birthday packages to children whose families are facing hardship.
Our mission is to make sure that every child in the area is able to experience their birthday, no matter what their family circumstances is, whether it's financial issues, medical issues.
Meegan shops for the perfect gift at stores like Fat Brain Toys, just one piece of the full surprise party package.
That includes a gift, brand new book, because we're big proponents of literacy, childhood literacy, as well as a birthday card, balloons, and candles, and then a baked birthday cake that we purchase. We work with Family Fare.
Everything is packed and wrapped, ready for the parents to throw their child a real birthday party. This week, volunteers rallied for Share Omaha's Do Good Days, packing up supplies.
Even though school gets out in the summer, birthdays don't stop. So we will continue to have birthday referrals as we go into the summer months.
And the impact goes far beyond the child.
Seeing how much the parents can feel empowered and having that dignity of not having to share with the child that somebody else gave them the gifts is what brings smiles to my face.
In Omaha, Aaron Hartley, First Alert 6.
Now, Project Surprise Party currently works with a limited number of school districts and organizations. You'll find a full list on our website. They are one of many nonprofits that need your support during these Do Good days. To find out how to volunteer, visit firstalert6.com or download our First Alert 6 app.